Alright, hello everyone, Luke Smith here. So it is Friday. We're going to read through Grace's report. I never took the time to read this report when I completed the game. I completely forgot that I unlocked it, so we're going to read it off of here. This is from the Resident Evil wiki. I'll link the site of this page here in the description below, but Grace's report is a file obtained in Resident Evil Requiem by clearing the game and choosing to release Elpis. So in other words, if you do the bad ending to destroy Elpis, obviously you don't get this. It is a collection of text and transcribed by Grace Ashcroft in her report to be submitted to her superior, Nathan Dempsey, Northwestern Special Agent in charge following the events of Requiem. The file can be viewed in the bonus menu. So this is a long one. So you got loads of stuff like going throughout the years. Essentially, this is like a abridged timeline of events in Resident Evil. So, Grace's report, the truth behind the Raccoon City, and it does have screenshots of each page. Introduction. Oh, can I? There you go. In 1998, Raccoon City was devastated by a massive outbreak caused by a viral leak from the pharmaceutical giant Umbrella. The United States government responded by launching a missile strike to wipe out the infected, and erected a blockade to seal off the city. In 2004, following a court trial, typical motorbikes going on the motorway, by the way, you can hear it through my window. A court trial by the Umbrella Corporation declared bankruptcy. In other words, to weasel their way out of it. A complete account of the events was never released. Yep, it was all kept hidden. However, in October 2026, it was discovered that the city has been used as a hub for the production and trafficking of bioweapons. This report reveals the established narrative of the Raccoon City incident was falsified and eludes newly discovered truths surrounding the incident. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. 1968. To properly understand the truth, we must first go back to the beginning of it all. In 1968, Oswald E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Edward Ashford founded the Umbrella Corporation. Having witnessed the horrors of the Second World War and the dread of the Cold War, Spencer felt a sense of despair at watching the world repeat the same mistakes. He felt it was his duty to bring about a change to humanity. As stated in court records, following the Raccoon City incident, his ultimate goal was to bring about the viral revolution of the human race. Thus, he relentlessly pursued virus research through illegal and inhumane means. This fact remains unchanged. 1970s. From the very beginning of Umbrella, the company faced rapid change and intense internal strife. Most notably, the sharp ideological divide between Spencer and Marcus. According to court records, this conflict was cited as the primary factor leading to the unusual developments which followed. In 1978, that was when my brother was born, James Marcus developed a T-virus. Oh, he was born on an important year then. Developed a T-virus, which would go on to become the cause of the subsequent outbreak. I didn't. I thought the T virus came out was developed in the 80s, not the 70s. Okay. 1980s. This was a crucial period for understanding the basis of which caused the incident and the truth behind the entire case. Not a lot in the 80s. Oh yeah, there was. There's a bit down here. Spencer's influence and Ark's establishment. So the Ark was made in the 80s. Okay. Spencer used internal politics to have Marcus demoted, absorbing T-virus research into the facility under his own control. From then on, the Umbrella began to actively research and develop bioweapons under Spencer's leadership. The underground facility known as Ark, which was discovered during recent events, i.e. Resident Evil Requiem, originally served as the administrative centre of the Umbrella research. Basically, the main horrible shit went down in the Ark. Several documents outlining Spencer's plan for Ark has also been discovered. Expert from confiscated records. Long-term strategic report 1980-0422. Oh, that's not a year, that's just a code word. Arc-centric integrated research roadmap. Step 1. Concentrated investment into Wesker project and the T-virus. Oh, so the Ark had a lot to do with the Wesker project as well. Step 2. Establishment of the Ark as a central command center. Step 3. Development of ELPIS. Step 4. Memory transfer and forced evolution. Damn, like I said, there's like really heavy stuff going on in the Ark. This is the first recorded instance of a significant keyword, ELPIS. The connections involvement. The following documents regarding Marcus' involvement were also discovered. Expert from confiscated records. Receipt of donation 1986. Oh, so that's a year first, and then you got the code word here 0138. Recipient James Marcus. Sender F Foundation. Oh, what was the F Foundation again? I don't know. Fortnite. Amount $30 million. So that was a donation from the F Foundation. This document shows a suspicious flow of funds being channeled to Marcus. Past FBI investigations revealed that the source of the fund, the F Foundation, was just one of the puppet organizations of the connections. The F Foundation no longer exists. Isn't why in Resident Evil 6, Simmons was part of a thing called the Family. Is that the Family Foundation there? I'm not quite sure. But the Simmons had a major involvement in the destruction of Raccoon City. The Connections is a criminal organisation that various government agencies has been sounding the alarm against for years. This illicit group is the heart of all of this. Evidence suggests that the Connections sought involvement with Umbrella's central operations. Additional documents belonging to the protege of Marcus, Brandon Bailey, have been uncovered. Remember when the first leaks come around and like the trailer came around for Requiem? People really thought it was like Brandon Bailey, but it turned out to be Victor Gideon instead. Maybe Brandon will be in the DLC. We will not know. He's one of the researchers of Umbrella. I think one of the main ones. Expert from confiscated records. Telegraph log 1988-0996. Sender Brandon Bailey. Recipient F Foundation. Preparations are complete. I think it's time they made contact with me directly, don't you? I'll wait for a response. This indicates that Bailey took took over correspondence with the Connections, succeeding Marcus. Bailey was rumoured to be the founder of the Connections. Maybe, I don't know. But he may have only been a small cog in the larger machine. We now believe the Connections had deep roots in the criminal underworld since before the 1980s. Much about the Connections remain unknown. Very, very suspicious. Spencer's purge. In order for Spencer to obtain complete control over Umbrella, he used force to deal with any internal opposition and influential adversaries. A list of these individuals seamlessly prepared by an associate of Spencer's was recently discovered. It was his butler that made his list, I think. Expert from confiscated records re-evaluation list. Following the CEO's re-evaluation protocol, measures will be taken against these individuals: Cheryl Moore, Michael Kramer, and James Marcus. So I know he definitely had James Marcus killed off, because that happened in Resident Evil 0. I don't know about the first two. I've got no idea who they are, but they do work with Umbrella. 1990s. During this period, Umbrella continued to grow and expand through ties with the government. The organisation became so large that Spencer could no longer fully control it. Numerous incidents plagued Umbrella's facilities around the world as a result of poor management. Furthermore, the information was being leaked to rival organisations and the Connections due to moles who have infiltrated the company. Yet, despite the circumstance, Spencer was able to thoroughly protect and complete his research at ARC, the research ELPIS. While most records regarding ELPIS was lost with the destruction of ARC, there are a precious few remain. Expert from confiscated records. Spencer's message 199 data missing. Tricell, HCF, the family, and Umbrella. Obviously, the family was in Resident Evil 6. HCF, I'm not quite sure what that is, but Tricell was mainly in Resident Evil 5, but they do have a part of this as well. Elpis will bring it all to an end. Data corrupted. The only information leaked about Elpis is that he had the potential to upset the military balance of the entire world. However, a strictly managed password known only to Spencer was needed to access it. What is Elpis? Elpis is a powerful antiviral drug. However, it was unknown for those who sought it. The Connections and other black market groups mistakenly thought it was a powerful bioweapon with potential to control human minds. This confusion likely stemmed from the fierce competition surrounding bioweapon development. It was common knowledge that Spencer, the developer of Elpis, aimed for the evolution and control of humanity through viral technology. Completion of Elpis. Based on data taken from the confiscated records and changes in Spencer's behaviour, we believe Elpis was completed around the mid-90s. After this period, the records show a marked decrease in the number of public statements from Spencer. A similar decrease in activity was also observed at the Raccoon City orphanage. Disturbingly, it's suspected that the children at the orphanage has long been used as for Umbrella experimentation. Well, we kind of knew that in Chloe's section, because it had a flashback section where you play as Chloe and you actually find out the truth, what's really going on in the orphanage. It was way darker than Resident Evil 2 orphanage section. While Spencer frequently visited the orphanage, the records indicate that he stopped in the 1990s. Furthermore, the orphanage was under the research jurisdiction of William Birkin in the late 90s. Birkin turned against Spencer, ultimately leading to the leak of the T virus. We'll have Brian Irons in this. I don't know, because he had an involvement as well. 1998, the the Raccoon City incident. The T virus leaked from the Umbrella research facility in Raccoon City, causing an unpredicted outbreak. In response, the government decided to launch a missile at the city, under the pretense of containing the spread. However, this was where we have all been misled. The missile strike was not launched to prevent the spread of the infection. No shit. If you play the game, you understand why. The plan was formed to disrupt the relationship between the government and Umbrella and shift the blame for all illegal activities onto Spencer. Found records indicate that the connections lobbied for the missile strike. Excerpts from the confiscated records, access log, first assembly minutes. Ark has been secured, commence missile strike. The blame will fall solely on Spencer. With this, Umbrella will be dismantled and we will seize their assets. That's an excerpt from the minutes of the main game in the Ark section. Their goal was the acquisition of the Umbrella assets, particularly the thing that they believed would disrupt the world's military balance, Elpis. Due to Bailey's involvement, the connections were aware of Umbrella's inner workings due to the Raccoon City inner workings prior to the Raccoon City incident. This set them up to swiftly secure Ark before instructing the government to carry out the missile strike. Before I go on a little bit more, I'm just wanna that's fine. Okay. After the Raccoon City incident. Did they mess up? Didn't they like redo this? I don't know. No, this is numbered like. Okay, that's fine. The Umbrella Trials. Oh yeah, this is the next bit. The Umbrella Trials. As is well known, the trials were held after the events of the Raccoon City incident. Testimony from Raccoon City survivors, along with evidence submitted by the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium, demonstrated the scope of Umbrella's nefarious activities. Evidence against Spencer was present at the trial by his subordinate Albert Wesker. It was now evident that Wesker is linked to Tricell, which had strong ties to the connections. Furthermore, it is highly likely that there was pressure from the government and the connections during the trials. In 2004, the following outcome of the trials, Umbrella was forced into bankruptcy. Just as the connections and the government intended, Oswald E. Spencer was held accountable as CEO and he disappeared from the public eye. And 2 years later, Wesker killed him. Acquisition of Ark. The connections and the government seized Ark during the Raccoon City incident. Thereafter, Ark served as the base for research development and the distribution of bioweapons. Documents believed to be transaction lists has also been seized. These lists Umbrella competitors, along with organisations that previously found guilty of illegal activity. Unfortunately, most evidence was lost in the collapse of Ark. Recovery efforts continue, but success is unlikely. Proliferation of bioterrorism. Following the Raccoon City incident, weaponized viruses developed by Umbrella was leaked. Subsequently, instances of bioterrorism utilizing this technology could spread across the globe. In 2013, President Adam Benford was assassinated in a bioterrorist attack. Intelligence agencies report that the president wished to reveal the full truth of the Raccoon City incident. In other words, they wanted to keep him quiet. It is possible that President Benford was privy to the facts revealed in this report. Spencer's final years. Remaining records about Spencer after the dissolution of Umbrella was scarce, but a new source of information recently come to light, an interview conducted by Alyssa Ashcroft. Despite being responsible for countless atrocities, Spencer showed signs of remorse in the interview. Having lost everything, he sought atonement. While Elpis is a powerful instrument that can render viral weapons inert, it also has the potential as a placenta to be used for good. It's possible that Spencer's true motivations behind Elpis were peace and redemption. Well, that was the idea. That's why he made it, because he just felt so guilty for what he did in the past, like making all these horrible bioweapons and shit, like viruses. He just wanted something to basically stop it all. While he remained obsessed with the evolution of humanity throughout his later years, most testimonies described him as nothing but a senile old man. Spencer died in 2006 at his secluded estate. His true intentions behind developing Elpis will forever remain unknown. When they remake Resident Evil 5, and they will, they'll have to retcon Spencer's story in Resident Evil 9, because they'd have to do it to mention Elpis. Seriously. Conclusion. As we can see from the records, the Umbrella Corporation's liquidation was intentionally orchestrated by the Connections and the US government. Furthermore, they were involved in the illegal development and trafficking of bioweapons in Raccoon City. The extent to which past and present governments were involved requires further investigation. Much about the Connections remains shrouded in mystery, and most records of their involvement were destroyed alongside ARC. Countless lives has been lost. As government officials, we have a duty to pursue the truth. If anything, finding it will finally offer some closure to everyone who fell victim to those heinous actions. FBI intelligence analyst Grace Ashcroft. Yeah. And these are the pictures from the files right there. Further notes: following the patch March 27th, Weska's plan was fixed to be Weska's project, matching the original Japanese transcript. Sources: Resident Evil Requiem 2026. Yeah. Very nice. Very interesting document, and it rounded up the new lore in Resident Evil lore perfectly, to be fair. Now, I'm really hoping that we do learn a little bit more about the Connections in the upcoming story DLC for Resident Evil Requiem. There'll probably be more files updated when that DLC comes out, so I will read them after I beat the DLC. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.